Hey friends, in this video we will learn how to create bulk users by using the PowerShell script and a CSV file. At the same time, we will also see how we can send this user creation details to the administrator's email account. So let's start by opening the PowerShell ISC. In the PowerShell ISC, I will just open my script which I just created for the user creations on Active Directory. So this is the bulk user, and so I will use this PowerShell script. Earlier I just used this PowerShell script where only it was creating the user accounts by using the PowerShell and a CSV file, but it was not sending email to the administrators. Now let's start by by opening this PowerShell script, and I'm going to open it. And in the very first line, I'm just mentioning the global PS1. So basically this PS1 file having the complete SMTP server details. So if you haven't created any PS1 file for SMTP server details, so no worry, you can just specify your SMTP server including SMTP server name, passwords, and also specify your port details over here. But because I'm using the global PS1, so I just specify the path of my SMTP server script details. So PowerShell is very smart. If you have just specified the path, so it will fetch the details from this PS1 file. Now in the second line, I'm mentioning the from equal to amitch@gmail.com. This is my sender email address, which is just storing inside the from variable. Now on the line number 4, I am using import dash module Active Directory. So this PowerShell command will import the Active Directory module on the computer where executing your PowerShell script. So this will help you to just use the PowerShell command for Active Directory. Now this is a variable which is storing the CSV file where I just mentioned my user creation details including first name, last name, description, email address, OU path where account will be created as well. So how this CSV file looks, so I'm just going to open it. This is the CSV file where I just specified my details including first name, last name, display name, username, email addresses, and other details including like OU path where account will be created and all. So if you have informations regarding the user creation, so you can just specify inside the CSV file, and this CSV file will be used for the user creation. So this is the CSV file which is just simple, and you can just edit it accordingly. Now I'm just closing this. We'll go on the PowerShell script again. So this variable will store the values of the CSV file. Now I created a variable that's created users. This is a variable, and now go on the HTML. So this will just create a report in the form of table. So here I'm just specifying the SAM account name. So if you will get the email, so this will look like SAM account name, email address of the user, description of the user, and created by who has just created the account, and OU path where account is stored in your Active Directory. So now I'm using the for each loop. So in the for each loop, I'm just again calling the AD users variable in the user variable. So in the user variable, we'll just fetch the details from AD users which is having the CSV values. Now this will read the values of a user account, and then just go on the created by. So this variable will store the logged on user details on the machine where executing your PowerShell script. Now move forward. This is if get AD user, if account exists in your Active Directory, then it will prompt the message like a user account with the username is already exist in your Active Directory. Now else, If account does not exist, then it will start to creating the accounts by new dash ad user, and the user details will filled by using the CSV file, and the username, the info alias dot local, this is the UPN name, this will come username at the rate the domain name. So you have to change this UPN name, like domain name, like xyz.com or avc.com, whatever that you have created in your organization. Now scroll it down, here you can see account password. So basically this value is very important, because if you are creating any account, so as per the uh, security purpose, or you can say compliance purpose, you have to make it true, because once user will logged on the first time, so it will prompt to change the password. If you make it false, so user will not get any notification for changing their password. So you have to just very cautious over here. Now in the HTML, it will just call the variable by their values inside this $HTML plus equal to, here username, email address, description, created by, OU path where account will be created. So this variable will store the values, and this will prompt on this HTML tabular in the tabular format. Now scroll it down, here I am using for each loop. So in this for each loop, this will call the users which is going to be created, or which has been created now. So this will just store the values from the AD user values, and it will add the user accounts inside this sales underscore RW group. If you don't want to add these all users in this group, so you have to only make it comment, and you can just use this one, so this will be commented. But we are just going to add these accounts in this group as well parallelly. Now I'm just closing this table inside this $HTML equal to $HTML plus equal to, here I'm just closing the table which has been just opened over here, this one. Now this is the date variable. This date variable will store the current date of your machine where you are just going to create the account. Now in the subject variable, I'm just using a subject line bulk AD user creation report and current date of the machine. And if you want to change your the subject line, how you will receive the mail, so you can make the changes accordingly in your subject over here. But currently I'm using bulk AD user creation report, so this is very simple, and it will be easier for me to identify the mail by using this subject line. Like this is just using for user creation email report is there. Now credentials, in this credentials I'm just using the SMTP credential details, and it is just converting it to the secure string. So the password which I just mentioned inside my global PS1, that will be converted into secure string. Now send mail message, so this command is used for sending the email, and this will use the SMTP server details which is mentioned in my global PS1, and port number and the credentials as well, and the recipients to whom I want to send the mail. So you can specify if you want to make it CC, so just you can specify here like CC and specify the email address similar like how you have mentioned inside the two. But I don't want to make it CC, so I'm going to remove it. Now from, so from, in the from address, it will just use the email address which I just specified for sending the email purpose. Currently I am using the same email address, but you can change it. From, it will use the from address, and subject, so the subject line which I just mentioned over here, bulk AD user creation report, and the body, in the body it will just add the body like HTML where the complete user creation details are specified. Now I'm going to execute this PowerShell script and we'll see how users will create it and how it will add it inside the groups and how it will send the email to the recipients. So now let's start. Click OK. So users have been created within a fraction of seconds over here. Now this has also added to this sales underscore RW group, as well as this has just moved the user account to this specified path inside the Active Directory. So open the dsa.msc and let's see how accounts has been created. So in the cells, user account has been created like test user 1. Similarly, if we go on the finance, here this account has been also created. You can see the timestamp of the user creation, and let's see the email, how this has been received. So now you can see I received this email. This is the timestamp. You can see there are the two users which has been created. First is the test user and second is the test dash user 1, and this is the OU path which is specified over here. You can just make the changes in your HTML to get the proper HTML format for the result. So we have seen this. So this is the very right way for user creations through the PowerShell script. If you are creating the users, so you can also get the complete reporting as well for the user creations, as well as also you can cross-check these all details by clicking on the user account. So we have seen the test user having the email address test.user.infoalias.com, and similarly for other users, if you will go, so test dash user 1 @infoalias.com. So this will be not only for user creations purpose, but also this PowerShell script will use for the reporting purpose. So in case if you want to show the mail who has just created, so you can get the details on your email address. So this is the person who I just created, Infoalias/administrator, and the current date. In the subject line you have seen current time, as well as also the subject line which is just telling us that these accounts has been created by this date and this time as well. Thank you for watching this video.